For tying, I like to use the least amount of tools necessary. For this jig, we're going to use yellow Kevlar thread. So start tying your thread. Now you want to take your solid brass bead with your heavy-duty pin with the broad head. Lay your bead right on top of the hook shank and then wrap back towards the brass bead. It's always a good idea to add a little bit of crystal flash to a jig. So what we have here, we have purple flash. So what I want to do is take about 6 strands, securing it onto the jig hook. Now we're ready to tie the feathers. For this jig, we're going to use a purple schlappen feather. So I want to cut that, trim it down just a little bit there. And also we're going to use a cerise hackle feather. Same thing there. I just want to trim that down a little bit. Now I want to take the cerise hackle and the purple schlappen and put them together, so these are going to be laid on top of each other. You take these 2 feathers, lay them right on top of the jig head, take your thread and tie back to the brass bead, and again pull nice and tight there with that thread. Now our feathers are ready to be palmered back to the brass bead. Now that you have the feathers secured, pull them out nice and tight on top of each other, and then start with your fingers and start pulling apart the feathers as you wrap them back towards the brass bead. Once you get it down to the brass bead here, hold it nice and tight here with your one hand, then take your thread and make about 2 or 3 turns over those feathers, and then pull nice and tight there. You always want to tie your jigs nice and tight. Pick up your scissors, slide them right down the thread, and trim that little tag end right there.